fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
You got a comp chest today, Star Trek Fleekaman fans, but what was it for? And is all the frustration going around your alliance the same as what many others are experiencing? Probably so. In fact, that's what today's video is about, to kind of catch you up. Now, it's coming in very, very late in the day. Part of that being because we wanted to try to find out as much as we can. I've talked to several of the community managers about this. So have others. Shout out to Nigel on the Voice of the Players podcast. Him and I talked earlier, another one of the content creators, just about how we were approaching this feedback. But for those who aren't aware of what happened, I guess the best place to be would be to explain that first. So, two major events were changed in Star Trek Fleekaman. Now, we did have a little bit of warning that was going to happen. They posted a couple days before on the official Discord that they would be making some updates to events, and the number one immediate concern for many people was, uh-oh, what are they nerfing? Foreshadowing that exactly what happened. All right, so here's what we have now. So, the G6 Uncommon, formerly known as that mission, now has been updated for G3, G4, G5, G6, etc. players, which you can see in that top right list. So what they did is you'll notice on the account I had in the background, if you're a G6 player, look on the actual amount. I left that up for a reason. 6,280 G6 Uncommon ore. So what people started to find is that if you were a higher level, G6, G7, your previous event that you could do relatively easily with refine, stuff like that, now costs 600 choice tokens. The cost went up. Now, what was the trade-off for this? Well, it actually was better for a lower level player because, you know, a G3, G4 could actually complete that 10K task now, where previously they had no chance. Now they could if they had 600 choice tokens. Now, there are levels to why that's a problem. Number one, Scopely's already openly said that they're not guaranteeing choice tokens are around for every Alliance tournament. That's another post they made on their official Discord. But beyond that, they made a change, felt like out of nowhere. And then they went a step further with another event. So again, you have a group of players who are definitely benefiting from this to a degree. But then you took another event that had become free to playable, which was the Syndicate one. And now the Syndicate event, as you can see behind me, this is a spreadsheet that we have for all of the updated runs. You've got now the Syndicate getting ridiculous, man. Like in wanting 3 million Syndicate XP. So Scopely put out a response. It's actually right there at the bottom. I was looking forward over here. Scopely put out a response that, hey, we've heard feedback. And I had messaged Hammy. He's like, hey, are you aware? And I got the response of, oh, we're aware. So it's definitely been heard. And you got an early comp chest today. Now, that comp chest was enough for 15 days worth of your pulls here for a monthly chest. So depending on what level you are, you're going to get good rewards for that. And in terms of generosity level, I think it's a very good comp, but I want to be very clear. I think it's very easy to see and say, yes, the comp is good. I'm not saying it's not. So Scopely, don't take this as me not being appreciative, but I do want to point out that this is all over things that, well, one, were very predictable, and two, should have never changed. And while I do appreciate the transparency of one, listening, number two, hopefully making a change. I was hoping that would happen, but it hasn't happened yet. But as you can see, listening and then posting a response to it and giving a comp chest for it, it's remembering at the core, why did this happen to begin with? So number one, if you've come to this video, you want to know why you got a comp chest. You got a comp chest because some of the events that had become free to playable in Alliance tournaments were changed. The Syndicate one completely removed from being able to be done free to play. It is now absolutely a pack. And now the Uncommon Materials task is accessible free to play to more people, but at a much higher cost than what was previously. Now, to be clear, again, I do appreciate the transparency. I really appreciate them taking the time to acknowledge people really don't like this. In fact, I did a live stream where we had people respond during the stream whether they felt the trade that we just discussed was fair. To take the uncommon tasks, inflate their cost, but make it more accessible, and then to yank the Syndicate XP. In my personal polling, 80% of players said no, even after having the math explained to them. As in, because Scopely did not tell people what the changes were to the events. Again, hence you come to the channel, right? It all making sense now. So I've got really bad humor. I apologize. So here we sit with the new event structures, and the frustration is high because it feels like players getting yanked around. And I actually think this, I mean, Shockwave is somebody that I've known for a while, but I think Shockwave who is a player, posted in the VIP Discord an official letter to the Scopely dev team and the ops team, and more importantly, the management team, to chastise them for these type of actions. I mean, for those that don't know, a lot of people in the upper stages of the game, very frustrated. And I think they roll it out at the very end clearly. Like, why does it matter? Why does it matter with things like COTA? Who cares if players are stockpiling materials? For a game based on FOMO, they seem to operate from the opposing principle. So, number one, shout out Shockwave. Wanted to include this, was making this video today anyway, decided to include your letter. Since you posted it publicly, I'm sure you don't care. But now it's been added to the video that you're welcome. You're famous now. Pat yourself on the back, kid. Shockwave's good people. He's a regular in our Twitch stream, so I'm allowed to joke with him. So anyway, today's comp chest, while a generous comp chest, is for a problem that affects a lot of players and should be brought up more often, even by myself. I mean, I think I deserve a little bit of like, Rev, maybe you should yell at them more. Sometimes I try to be, maybe overly nice because I don't want them to constantly feel like I'm chastising them. But obviously, as players advance, like for example, we're punishing players for having gotten to a point in their syndicate, as in being loyal, playing your game every day, right? That players are able to now turn in one day of this turn as they had gotten their syndicate up to 55, or be able to do this turn in plus other things to get that syndicate task done 100% free to play. Now are saying, no, we want them to buy a pack exclusively. And then 600 choice tokens, which in terms of the amount in the event, again, it is more accessible free to play, but number one, requires you to save up choice tokens. Number two, you can't do it near as often as G6 players, G7 players, and upper G5 players were doing previously. And then you have this just constant arm twisting of buy more packs. And while there are things I think that are worth buying if you're a diehard player in STFC, constantly being told to do it just makes me want to be like the little child in me wants to just go, no, I'm not doing what you tell me to do because you told me to do it. Like, focus more on the fun. Anyway, a little bit of a mini rant in that, wasn't intended. More just trying to make sure everybody's aware why things are happening, why you got a comp chest, and are they doing anything about the events. So to end the video on that, I don't have a concrete answer to tell you, are they moving things back? What is my expectation after having conversations and then talking to other CCs and hearing what they heard back as well? I feel like some form of compromise will be brought forth and you'll have a little bit better, but it's not going back to the original values. If you'd had to ask me to guess, obviously I want them to go back to how it was. I told them directly things like Crucible of War, Makala's Crucible, heck, a slew of different events that we can probably all name off could use updating far before Alliance tournaments is one of the highlights left in STFC. Leave it alone. But thank you for the comp chest. Appreciate you and hope everybody now feels better informed, and hopefully you're enjoying 15 days of free elite tokens, because unless you'd already bought that pack, that's awesome. That's free stuff. And again, thank you for the comp. But still, stop messing with stuff you don't need to mess with. Live long and plunder. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek video. Thanks again to Shockwave and even to the CM team, keeping us informed. We appreciate it. See you on the next one.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.